Hello. This week we would like to expand our coursework regarding domestic violence to vicarious trauma. Vicarious trauma is a traumatic event that is witnessed or experienced by a person through the eyes of another person, or witness experience firsthand while another person is being abused. This abuse can fall in the category of verbal abuse, emotional abuse, psychological abuse, or physical abuse. Oftentimes, people think that if a person has not actually witnessed the abuse themselves, that they are not affected by it. But this is extremely wrong. It's important to know and understand that those who actually witness abuse are just as prone to repeating the cycle of violence by being a victim of abuse or being abusive themselves as they get older, either in their teenage years or young adults. It doesn't matter when they actually experience the abuse, just later in life, they repeat that cycle as if they actually experienced the abuse themselves. Oftentimes, when we work with children who have witnessed abuse, we have a tendency as therapists to focus on those things of trying to get them to understand what has happened to the other person and trying to get them to learn more things about how that relationship may or may not have been normal. But what's important is to also recognize the fact that that person may feel somehow responsible for what happened to the person that was abused. They can oftentimes put themselves in that situation. They can consider that situation as being normal. It's that normal, healthy relationship where people would often fight or argue or hit each other or call each other names. And it's important to be able to address the situation with them to understand how they truly feel. Through vicarious trauma, it's as if the person who witnessed their abuse actually experienced the abuse, which means they would have the same effects and the same outcome. Not only could they repeat the cycle of abuse as they get older in relationships and as teenagers as well, but they can actually continue on other negative pathways. They can become depressed and suffer from depression. They have other traumatic experiences that cause them to feel very much overwhelmed. They sometimes develop OCD behaviors. Oftentimes they have eating disorders. So it's very important to be able to watch and monitor and try to understand what the individual is going through. Now, I talked a little bit about vicarious trauma through the eyes of younger people who actually see adults, their parents or siblings get abused somehow, but it happens with older people as well. Oftentimes, we will have people think that this is as good as it gets. I'm not going to have a better life. Sometimes we have wives who are in relationships with their husbands, and even though they have not witnessed abuse as children, they feel trapped in those situations, and they continue to live through that as if it was normal for them. So it is important to be able to talk with the people that are witnessing abuse to see how they feel about the situation, to see how that situation has impacted them. So I hope that you've had some good information you learn about vicarious trauma, and I hope to see you next time.